Okay, welcome back to the final steps, and I want to show you what I've got here to get the pizza ready before it goes in the oven. I've got my flour, I've got my marble rolling pin. You want a good marble rolling pin. It's got the weight to roll out that very elasticy dough, and I've got the dough that has been resting. I'm going to turn on the oven to 425. Now you want it hot so you get that good crisp on the bottom of the pizza. How do I know how big to roll it out? I measure it, I measure it against my pastry mat. Now you can see the sizes down there. This is about 1.5 inches larger across than the largest side. So I'm gonna go turn on the oven. I'm putting the Pampered Chef stone right in the oven to heat up. I haven't used it enough to build up that full non-stick yet, so I'm going to give it a very light spritz of an olive oil just before we go. And I'm actually using the Pampered Chef garlic olive oil because it's just so nummy. So I'm going to turn on the oven and I'm going to put the stone into heat. Now my oven's a little bit cold, so I tend to put it up at 430. I've got all my toppings set at the stove top. We're going to use the pizza peel to transfer it. So what we do now is we get the dough ready to roll out. I'm going to punch it down like you would do with any other dough. We're going to put a little bit of flour onto the pastry board or pastry sheet. Cleans up like a breeze, this one. You just give it a rinse. I tend to be a very hands-on chef. If I can't do it with my hands, I don't do it. Okay, so we just want to push that down. I'll move this out of the way. Okay, we want a little bit of flour on it. We also want to push out any air bubbles that may have risen up in the dough. Now, if you happen to be one of those people who can twirl the dough around, could you please message me and let me know how to do it? Because I'd love to be able to do that. Okay, you can test the springiness of your dough by just kind of pulling it, checking it out. It's not sticking to my fingers, which means we're good. I'm going to want to get that into as round a shape as possible, and then we're going to just kind of roll her around. Back and forth, back and forth. If you see any bubbles coming up to the edges, if you see them, just run over them with the rolling pin, burst them out. Flip it over, tiny dusting of flour to keep it going. Now I have a very unusual method for transferring with the pizza peel. I find that if the oven doesn't heat up quite as fast as the pizza gets ready, sometimes it will stick, so I don't top it before I take it over to the oven. I don't like using too much flour or cornmeal or anything like that to get it there because I want the pizza crust to be nice and crispy. So I tend to wait until I get the stone out of the oven, plop this on top of the pizza peel, and then I do the upside down, stretch and smooth. It looks really awkward, but it works. You'll find whatever works best for you, but it sure is easier than trying to pick up the dough, and it gives it a crisper start if you start with the stone hot, and you definitely don't want to be transferring this dough over by hand onto a hot stone. So you just roll it out roughly as large as you think. It's going to shrink a little bit once it's on the pizza peel, but you can just smooth it back out. So already ready over, I've got my pesto sauce, I've got my chopped bacon, I've got my very thinly sliced red onions, and I've got the butternut squash that's already been roasted. I'm going to dust my pizza peel. And lift up the pizza and plop her down. And again, you'll see it overhangs a little. The large stone really is large. It will feed a family of 4. Maybe not a family with teenagers. 4 teenagers. Jen, I know you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so there we sit and we wait until the pizza stone comes out of the oven. I'm going to try putting this on pause and hopefully it will connect, and I'll continue once the stone's out of the oven. Otherwise, we'll just have to do this in 2 parts. Hang on. Aha! Success! It is continuing on. Okay, I'm going to slide the stone out of the oven now. If I can find where I left my other oven mitt, as usual. Oh, I'll just use one of my other ones. Oh, it's hanging up. Yeah, I think we all have those days, don't we? I just seem to have all of those days. Okay, so here comes this fancy upside down twist. I'm bringing the crust over on the pizza peel, and then we just one over. There she goes. As easy as that. Now, from here, I can stretch her back out carefully into position. Okay, I'm going to take one of my mini scrapers. Again, I've lost it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so from here, yeah, I really do have 3 of these. It's my favorite one. So here's the pesto sauce that we have made, and we're just going to spread it, yeah, sparingly. You really don't want a huge glob of pesto, but you want the flavor, so you're going to spread it nice and even, and it's a little cold because it's been sitting in the fridge, so it's going to be a bit harder to spread. Oh my gosh, if you could smell the garlic. Oh, yum. Yeah, I'm definitely not a vampire. No vampire tendencies here. Although it's funny, I do find myself liking my meat rarer and rarer as the, ages go by. Maybe I'm just becoming vitamin B deficient or something. Okay, so our pesto sauce is on. I don't like cheese. And everyone who knows me knows this. What you would do next is you would put on a nice soft cheese. Any kind of soft Italian cheese is perfect. You could put on brie or camembert if you like. Anything soft. Now, again, because I don't know cheese that well, because I never kind of need to shop for it, I don't know what a good soft Italian is. Maybe a bocconcino or a very soft fresh mozzarella. But you get the idea. Those of you who do like cheese, which is pretty much everyone in the world except me and a couple of other people, you would put the cheese on before you layer the squash. You can put it on in globs. You could spread it on thin if you like. Now notice there's a nice caramelization on some of these pieces. And that's what you want. You don't want them blackened. You don't want them burned. Nice caramelization. So spread this out so there's a nice piece of squash on every slice. Now we're going to load on our onion. And you can cut it the day before and save it. Now again, thin slices. You don't want to overwhelm that soft rosemary flavor with a whole pile of onion. But thinly sliced onion will really give this recipe a nice kick. It doesn't call for it. But hey, I like onion, and I like them in just about everything, so I would put them on. Oh, you can probably hear my music playing in the background. I didn't think to turn it off. And bacon. You can use pancetta if you like. And we're not going to worry too much about the bacon. 3 slices is enough bacon, said no person ever. And you can have my leftover bacon, said no person ever. We used to do this in the morning when we did the breakfast at the school program. We get the bacon ready and we start cracking bacon jokes. I don't like bacon, said no person ever. Well, probably a few people. Yeah. That's too much bacon sitting there first and ever. Alright, so into the oven it's going to go 12 to 15 minutes. Perfection is going to be on your plate. I'll show you the finished product. I'll just take a photo of it and I'll show you when it's done. And I hope you follow this recipe and try it out. Let me know if you like it.